set pieces. That showed twice, considering from 2 set pieces. Again, we showed some sort of naivety defending, especially for considering the 3rd goal. 4 players failed to track 3 players and considered such a cheap goal. But after having said that, it was a masterful performance. Ngozi Okobi, who had 1 goal and 2 assists, who plays for the Delta Queens, was probably the player of the match and was really breathtaking as far as I'm concerned.
Members of the Super Falcons, that was when they arrived for the game against Sweden. See how relaxed they were. They were singing and dancing. That's to show that they had no form of fear. They sat down to the dressing room. They were still singing and dancing. Look at them getting into, just to tell, oh, we know you think we're the underdogs.
That's pure confidence.
There you go.
Confidence.
That's it. Super Falcons team, they said, no, we're not going to just come out to the numbers here. We're going to show that we can play football. And what a performance these ladies put up. I'm seeing loads of messages, loads of love for the Super Falcons team on Twitter. I'll just keep quiet for a minute. Let's just listen to these girls and then we'll come back and talk. All right. The Super Falcons, a jealous mood before they took on Sweden. They sang and danced till they got to the pitch. Now you know where they got that confidence. 2 goals down, they fought, considered another goal, and they scored another one in 9 minutes of the game to say, look, we're Nigerians, we're resilient, we are strong, and we can fight. I love this message from Umoru Abdullahi. He says, we're asking a question on Twitter. I was after seeing the game between Nigeria and Sweden, do you think the Super Falcons can qualify from Group D? And we're getting loads of messages. We love it. Keep them coming. Umoru Abdullahi says, the Super Falcons will not only qualify from the group, they will get to the semi-finals. Those girls played with character. I think that's the tweet of the day. But let me come to you, YD. Tune said the coach went on 90 minutes without a substitution. Is that tactical brilliance?
Maybe not. You just have to make some changes. I mean, it depends. Like you said, the stamina level is very, maybe they believe they're very high, but I think a little bit you must make 1 or 2 changes.
Maybe that would have made the difference between a draw and a victory. Is that what you're saying? Well, maybe some kind of
more like have a plan B, have options.
There must be somebody on that bench, bench players that can come in and make a good impact. So I feel they must have done like look for a bench player that can come in and put in some small thing here and there that can make a change.
I think what you're trying to say, is what they call game management. The ability to use all your options in such a way that you manage the game, squeeze the best out of your available resources, and get the desired result. Maybe the 2-0, the 2 goals that we considered early on, maybe that might have changed his game plan somewhat. But you cannot fault the fact that from 2-0 down, he managed to snatch, a point from the jaws of what was threatening to be a rout.
It also depends on what's available for him on that bench, like I said earlier.
Exactly.
If there was nobody really that can have that would have gone
not broken, don't
and then
fix it.
do something else. Exactly. Don't fix it if it's not broken.
That's it. Let's just read some more messages. I love the love that we're getting for the Super Falcons. Salauddin Amao says, it isn't mission impossible. The Super Falcons team must take their chances when it presents itself. Defensive tactics must also be right. Defensive tactics. I think maybe from after USA the 94 squad, 98 till about 2002, we've been having a lot of question marks as regards our defensive play in the senior national teams.
Yeah, I think it's everywhere. Especially senior national teams. The Super Falcons, the Super Eagles. Questions have always arisen around how we plan our defensive outlook. Is it man marking? Is it zonal marking? Is it pressing? Is it what kind of, is it gang pressing like the Germans like to use? It's very important. But then going back to the Super Falcons, I have to say here that anything they achieve after this is a bonus. Because I think we only scored 1 goal in the last World Cup. In the last female World Cup, but now we scored 3 in 1 game.
Look at
that shows that there's progress. And in a group that I said if we get a draw for any of our 3 games, is a success. For me, anything beyond this point is trust me, it's a bonus, really.
Well, my opinion would be for the back line we were talking about, the defense line. I think we must look for quality.
Okay, that's the word.
If the quality is not there, you cannot get the kind of results you're looking for. You know, back in those days, you know, if I start to mention Stephen Kesh himself, Uche, Okechukwu, you know, Christian Chukwu, the quality must be there. If you have the quality, then you are less, you know, worried. But nowadays, we get worried about our defense.
Thank you so much. I'm not worried about having you on the program, Wiley. Thank you so much for coming.
My pleasure, anytime.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for coming. I can't send it, so just take a salute. So that's it. That's the first part of the show. But keep those comments coming on Twitter with channels_sports and on Facebook with channels I think sports. And let's keep talking about the Super Falcons and the Flying Eagles. Let's go on a quick break now. When we come back, Dumnodi Okonta and Cosmos Chukwuemeka will be joining me. We'll talk about Warrior Wolves. What went wrong in that game against AC Leopards? Don't go anywhere. Stay.
And we have to Tony Okowa. We have the Dominic Omeya. I can see to Tony Okowa. Dominic Omeya. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the 2 teams are out now. And today's captain is Julio Coronado. Children's to Warrior Wolves is going in. Abu Aziz, person number 17, going in from our America.
So that's the story of our Warriors crashed out of this year's CAF Confederation Cup. Painful because they scored the 4 goals in that game. 1 goal scored by Azubike Egweke. I'm being joined by my colleague Dumnodi Okonta, and of course Cosmos Chukwuemeka. But let me rush to you, Dumnodi Okonta. You monitored this game. What was really the problem with that Warriors team?
Well, there's no problem with the team in the quality of play. It's a problem with our management of our football. Let me tell you how the Congolese came. They came in the chartered flights, private jet. Of course, they didn't come to Lagos. They knew that from Lagos to Warri, they had to land to Lagos to Warri. It's just maybe 4 or 5 hours. So it would be a huge, long distance. But mind you, when we were going to the sea, it took them close to 4 hours to travel by road, and they were almost tired. The players were looking at us as if they were traveling to heaven. No end to the journey. So you see, the preparation, what we was traveling plans to Congo was an embarrassing one. It was hurtful for these players. But the Congolese knew what they wanted. They knew that to come to Nigeria, you need to get the result. You have to get the best kind of traveling plan. That's what they did. They traveled straight from the DCH to Port Harcourt. No worry, to Port Harcourt. They knew that from Port Harcourt to Warri just 2 hours. They went from Port Harcourt to Warri because they couldn't fly into Warri because they were not giving clearance to fly into Warri. So they traveled there. Instead of coming to Lagos, they went straight to Port Harcourt because the owner of the club has business interest in Port Harcourt. They came with 80 fans, meaning that they came with Congolese who stayed in Port Harcourt. That shows you how prepared they were. And they came. Austin, where they stayed, the hotel they stayed, if an average Nigerian club wants to stay in that hotel, the kind of budget they will present to the government won't approve it. They know the kind of player they have. They know the kind of treatment they have. These are players, because if you look at the Warriors players, you have 6 of them in the national team. 4 of them who wants to play for the Super Eagles. What kind of treatment do you give to this kind of players? You give them a first-class ticket. You give them the best of hotel arrangement, the best of treatment, because they know they are national team players. And these are what national team players deserve. And that was why the Congolese came. So for SC Leopards, they knew they had, because if you look at the
psychologically they were ready, and they know
they were ready. This is their 3rd time in Nigeria. The first time was against Atlant in 20.